It has been an undeniably cold winter in Nebraska. UNL Extension state climatologist Al Dutcher says on a statewide basis, Nebraska has recorded about 20 days with below zero temperatures this winter. A normal winter season would feature about 5 days in southern Nebraska and 10 in northern Nebraska. As spring arrives later this month, the question becomes, how long will below average temperatures linger? We sat down with Al Thursday afternoon for an extended weather forecast.
Essentially, when you compare this winter to last winter, eastern Nebraska running anywhere from 4 to 7 degrees below last winter's temperatures. Western part of the state's caught a few of those warmer days than we have in the eastern part, and they're running anywhere from 3 to about 5 degrees below what we seen last winter. Snowfall, we're right about what we were last year, except for northeast and portions of north central that have missed out on the major snow events that have crossed the southern part of the state. But a lot of winter left, unfortunately.
Right, let's move to the west before we get into spring and look at the central Rockies and the snowpack there. First of all, tell me why that's important for producers here.
Well, there's two reasons. One, of course, is irrigation water. You know, we're talking about the water that's going to help fill up the reservoirs on the northern branch of the Platte. So when we look at the capacity of that system, holds about 4.5 million acre feet of water. Right now, we're running about 50% of capacity, so there's room for about 2 to 2.25 million acre feet of water. So when we look at that snowpack, we're looking at the snow water equivalency of it. Latest reading as of yesterday, essentially running 135% of the snow water equivalent. That's the water in the snowpack, not the snow. In north central Colorado, in south central Wyoming, 120% of the normal snow water equivalency. What does that mean in terms of comparisons to a normal year? Typically, we don't reach these levels that we're seeing with the snowpack until we get to the peak of the season, which occurs late March, early April. So we're a full month ahead. As long as the snows continue, we're going to have a tremendous runoff potential. But more importantly, bigger the snowpack, the longer it takes for it to disappear. And we usually see good thunderstorm development along the front range of the Rockies as we start to see the temperatures along the plains region warm up. And those thunderstorms tend to roll east during the overnight hours and provide us with a very valuable source of moisture when we don't have frontal boundaries coming through the state during the peak of the summer period.
Let's look ahead to spring and first just talk about temperature. Will these colder than normal temperatures that we've seen so far this winter continue into spring?
As long as we can pull this warm air up into southern Canada, I would say that there's a very good likelihood that we'll be below normal in regards to temperatures. Right now, we should have highs in the state pushing the mid to upper 40s, and by the end of the month, around 58 to 60 degrees. So even if we're getting in the 40s, which sounds pleasant compared to what we had a week ago, we're still running 7-8 degrees below normal. And as you go to the north of us, it's worse. We've got 3+ feet of ice on many of the interior lakes of northern Minnesota. So, you know, for that ice to get out, it's going to take a while. And that's going to have a moderating influence. Basically, it's not going to allow us to get gung-ho too warm. Secondary is how quickly will it warm up and how much moisture is going to come flowing out of that snowpack and how much flooding concerns are we going to have to the east of us. Not so much here in Nebraska, but all those things could conspire to really make this a messy, messy spring period for planting.
Do you have an impression that it is going to be a wet spring as well?
I think so. You know, I know a lot of people are concerned that we've had a lack of snow. Really 7% on average for our annual precipitation falls from December through February. What I look at is how many frequent frontal boundary passes are we getting, and they're coming anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week. As the air gets warmer, it holds more moisture, and when you get 25-degree temperature swings behind a cold front, generally we have either a pretty strong snowstorm or we have some pretty extensive thunderstorm activity.
Quickly then, that would indicate that soils might take a little longer to warm up than normal.
Most definitely, most definitely. We'll thaw them out here in the next week to 10 days, but it's going to be a slow process building that heat deeper into the profile.